I was thinking, what's a flight plan I might take but I haven't taken via airplane? And I'm Tanis, Coralee of Seattle, and today is Thursday, 2 October 2025, and this is my walking and talking video for the day. I'm out in the backyard, and at least one of my soulmates has been ruminating about, like, what if this were our house? Kind of thing. It's like, maybe we could turn it into a squirrel hut, the bench memorial, add a shelter over it, and when it snows, the critters could congregate here in like a squirrel hut, but like the birds and stuff too. Is there a squirrel box put in? Do the birds take it? That kind of thing. And I was like, okay, what about me? Am I ruminating? And I was like, okay, a flight plan I have not executed. And then why might I execute that flight plan? Via airplane. So, airplane flight plan. It's like Seattle to Boston to Milan. So like keeping it kind of relevant. So last month, September 2025, I was like I talked about making Milan the airport of choice, my airport of choice for my Italy heritage travel trip. And I was like, how would I get to Milan? And would I go to Milan for another reason? And why would I go Seattle, Boston, Milan? And so I was like, okay, well, Seattle's West Coast, Boston's East Coast, and not just East Coast, like, because Detroit is East Coast, but like Boston's like East Coast, Eastern Seaboard. So go Seattle, Boston, and then in theory, like, it could be like anywhere in Europe. It's a not so metropolitan as like Washington, D.C. or New York City or Newark or Atlanta. That Boston, I have not been to Boston Airport. It was like to Milan, let's say they have a flight or something. I was like, okay, how about a graduate school visit? Does somebody fly me out to Italy? And they're like, you're kind of a snowy person, so we're gonna have you fly in, possibly fly out through Milan, even though the school's in Rome, because you're kind of a snowy person. And we think sending you that path might actually add to the likelihood you come in. So I was like, all right, we gotta go, and do I have a travel companion? And we get to like drive in or ride in to Rome from Milan. That's kind of fun. And back, or however that goes, there and back again. So I'm like, yeah, that'd be fun. Heritage travel trip, sure. I think that would be possibly semi-dependent on the cost of the ticket. Then there's also just general school. So if I say there's a graduate school offer and I say yes, then especially if I'm living in northern Italy, Milan would be a yes in that flight plan. But also, like, if I'm living in Bracciano, maybe sometimes I want to fly through Milano, just for maybe spending a few nights, or it's not as busy of an airport and I like the drive. So that kind of thing. And then I was like, and work. So whether or not I go to Italy for school, there's just general work. If I have a job that makes me travel and that's a viable flight plan, maybe I take that flight plan. So there we go. That's ruminating about why I might fly the flight plan Seattle to Boston to Milan via airplane. An airplane because that's kind of my only mode of air transportation that I've utilized.